Hi there guys, this is your host Richard bringing to you another marvelous video. Skyline Franchise and its harvest of aliens that created human race, explored with theories. Director duo Greg and Colin Strause of the Skyline Franchise are the same guys who held the reins for Alien vs. Predator Requiem. After Requiem tanked at the box office, the Brothers Strause sort of blamed it on the executives, but no one was willing to take it, not even the loyal fans of the AVP franchise, let alone critics. So, this duo decided to make another film to prove themselves and their mettle, and that's how the Skyline franchise took birth in 2010. The franchise is known for its outrageous yet ambitious depiction of an invasion by the creators of humans themselves. There are 3 films in the franchise, and each goes a step further than the previous one in terms of pronounced sci-fi elements and outstanding visual effects. Interestingly enough, the physical production of the first film cost only $500,000, but the total budget stood at 10 to 20 millions with the visual effects. So that should give you an idea about how precise and thrilling the sequences might be. The second chapter of the franchise, titled Beyond Skyline, was released in 2017, and it gave the film a martial arts sci-fi essence, which felt like a breath of fresh air. Beyond Skyline, 2017. The film takes place on the same night as the original film. It presents a Los Angeles police detective named Mark Corley, who struggles to get his estranged son out of jail because of the alien invasion. As almost the entire population gets sucked into the alien ships, Mark helps several survivors to subway tunnels to help them escape the aliens. But most of these survivors either get abducted by the aliens or get killed. Only Mark, Trent, Audrey, and a blind man named Sarge manage to flee the initial assault, but even they get abducted by a huge alien tanker and into an alien spaceship. Once aboard, Mark embarks on a quest to find his son Trent and comes to meet Elaine and her now transformed husband Jared. Elaine explains to Mark that Jared retained control of his mind despite his transformation into the alien soldier. We know from the first film that Elaine was pregnant, but her pregnancy accelerates and she gives birth to a daughter before succumbing to the pain of this unnatural delivery. Mark and Jared then join hands to destroy the ship by placing explosives in the ship's primary control system. But a fight breaks out in which Jared dies while fighting an alien commander. Mark rushes and manages to save Audrey, but his son Trent was a lost cause. Trent's brain is transferred to another biomechanical alien creature. Later, the explosives detonate and the ship crash lands in the rural parts of Laos. But as was seen earlier, the ship started to repair itself, but Sarge, Mark, and Audrey escape with Elaine and Jared's child. While Sarge succumbs to his wounds, the group meets Swa and Kanya, 2 locals who had been fighting against the aliens. As the group moves through the jungles of Laos, the group notices that the baby is growing at an accelerated rate. She turns from a just-born to a 3-year-old in a matter of just 1 day. They reach a human resistance facility that was located amidst ruins. Meanwhile, they have to face other challenges like rogue police officers. At the facility, a medical officer named Harper studies the anomaly that was this abnormally developing child.
She's got an extremely high temperature.
He discovers that the child's DNA is unique and constantly evolving, and naturally, it might be the key to defeating the violent extraterrestrial guests. Harper seemed like a brilliant scientist as he was able to use the child's DNA and salvaged alien tech to develop a serum that he believed would free the transformed soldiers of their alien bodies and restore their human state. Swa insists that all biomechanical beings shall be killed at sight, but Mark manages to seek her support to save Trent. While patrolling, Kanya came face to face with a quadrupedal tanker alien and sacrificed herself by luring it to a minefield from the time of the Vietnam War. She did manage to destroy it, but she unwittingly gave away their location to the aliens who had been looking for Elaine and Jared's newborn child. As the aliens converged to the hideout, a battle ensued and several parties from both sides got killed, including Harper, the medical officer. However, Mark managed to use Harper's serum to turn the mind-controlling blue light to red. This freed the biomechanical soldiers from the hypnotizing effect and they gained a mind of their own, much like the transformed Jared. Soon, however, he gets attacked by the alien leader and its minions, but Mark, Audrey, Swa, and a rogue cop named Juana fight back, making what can be called the last stand. With his mind restored, a transformed Trent fights inside an alien tanker. Soon, the child joined the battlefield and fixed a cannon to help Trent kill the alien leader and released the red light that freed the transformed soldiers from their mind control state. They seemingly saved Earth, and Audrey names the baby girl Rose. Rose grows into an adult in a matter of 10 years, and it seems she now controls an alien ship, with a still transformed Trent as her second-in-command and her adopted brother. It turns out that Rose was leading the freed alien soldiers and other humans to attack other alien ships and the alien mothership that had been spotted near the moon. Directed by incoming director Liam O'Donnell, this second film of the franchise was a bold attempt on 2 counts. 1. It starts on the same night as the first film and gives us a picture of the other survivors and how their lives changed because of the alien invasion. Secondly, it took the most potent aspects of its source film and focused only on those components, highlighting them in the process. For instance, the film had a further otherworldly outlook of the alien mothership and gave an essential role to Trent, the dude who had his brain transferred into an alien body. Also, the film was interesting because it included some martial arts in a film about an alien invasion. When was the last time you saw that? So, this film offers not only good action sequences and hand-to-hand combat, but also good CGI. Definitely a great blend for a Saturday night flick. We hope that you recognize Iko Uwe and Yayan Ruhian from the Raid films. Having said that, this one is one of those really notorious films that polarize the viewers. Either you'll hate it, or you'll love it. There really isn't any middle ground. Skylines 2020. The film picks up 15 years after Beyond Skyline. We see Rose leading a fleet of human spaceships to go and fight against the alien spaceships. By now, the aliens have been named Harvesters. It took them 2 films to do that. Goodness gracious. Nevertheless, the alien mothership named Armada is set in the orbit of the moon. Rose and her fleet pierced through several barriers and enemy lines, but when it was time to destroy the central ship, Rose froze for a moment and ended up destroying one of her own ships in order to stop the alien ships from firing on Earth. Although shooting down her own ship cost her thousands of lives, it successfully destroyed the Armada. After the incident, however, Rose became overwhelmed with grief and guilt, so much so that she vanished from the picture after the battle. Meanwhile, humanity attempted to stand on its feet once again in the following 5 peaceful years. The freed alien-human hybrids are now called pilots. In these 5 years, Rose started to live in a tent city near what was left of London. All the while, she avoided resistance forces that were led by one Leon, who was on the lookout for her. Meanwhile, she also had to get routine hyper-oxygenated blood transfusions with the help of Dr. Mal, without which her hybrid nature would surface, and she would age rapidly and ultimately succumb to it. In a strange turn of events, the pilots soon became infected with a virus, and the infection soon takes the form of a pandemic. Furthermore, it is affecting anyone and everyone who has undergone surgery to get transplanted pilot limbs. For instance, Juana, the rogue cop who turned good in the second film, had lost 3 of his limbs. The virus not only eats the pilots, but also sends them back to the state where they were mind-controlled by the blue lights. Leon soon has Rose captured, and she's brought to General Radford, who tells Rose that the Armada's core drive had warped to the homeworld of the Harvesters, called Cobalt-1, just before Rose had fired her spaceship to destroy it. So, basically, she sacrificed all those people for nothing. Live with that, Rose. Live with that. Moreover, the only way to save the pilots is through using the Armada's core drive. Here, she also gets reunited with her brother Trent, who's also a pilot. Together with General Radford's men, Rose and Trent head to Cobalt-1 because, why not? Space travel is a piece of cake. Upon reaching Cobalt-1, their ship crashes after colliding with an alien vessel. Upon exiting their ship, Rose, Trent and the others find several Harvester corpses along with mutated Harvesters. While a team member named Alexi sacrifices herself to destroy the mutated Harvesters, Rose gets captured and is produced before the Harvester leader named Matriarch, who accuses humans of coming to kill her race. Rose soon realizes that it was the Matriarch and her telepathic influence on Rose that caused her to freeze in the first place. The Matriarch was also hindering Rose from using her powers. Upon gaining this new knowledge, Rose no longer fears truly embracing her powers and successfully gets control of the core drive. But another member from Rose's team named Owen betrayed the others and fled with the core drive. Rose and Leon soon discover that it was Radford who had created the virus to infect and kill the pilots.
Powerful enough to wipe every pilot off the face of the earth.
And also that he had detonated a bioweapon on the Harvester home planet before Rose and her team arrived there. Back on Earth, Dr. Mal tries to find a cure to the pandemic, but the mind-controlled pilots attack her before she could finish her work. The residents fight back these aliens, but to their dismay, hordes of infected pilots approach them from London. However, Rose arrives on Earth from a wormhole just in time to suck all the pilots into her ship. Dr. Mao's cure had worked, and they managed to save all the pilots. Furthermore, Trent, who had been infected with the virus, is saved by transplanting his brain into another body. Later, Rose learns the location of her adoptive father, Mark, who was kept prisoner by Radford on suspicion that Mark was an enemy of the state. The third film of the franchise tried to get ambitious but went a bit too far and disregarded all notions about the laws of physics and general common sense, truly a rarer resource than the brain itself. The film takes place after the events of the first two films, and humans go straight to the planet of the alien invaders. How they managed to achieve such technology and how they discovered wormholes with such ease will forever remain a mystery to humankind. It seems that they were struggling to come up with another decent story for the third film and thought it best to bring back the villains from the first film, i.e., the mind-controlled biomechanical aliens. Lindsay Morgan as Rose Corley and the film's impeccable effects were probably the only saving grace of the film. Despite the fact that the film packs a great deal of unintentional laughter, it also packs a hefty amount of great action sequences that are too thrilling to watch. It seems like Skyline's Rose was intended to become the Alien franchise's Ripley. Harvesters from
City. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.